John Lewis is lying in state in the US Capitol. How do you think history will remember John Lewis?
I don't know. I really don't know.
It's so shameful, but it is also classic Donald Trump.
I don't know John Lewis. He chose not to come to my inauguration.
The way he kept on saying, oh, you know, he didn't come to my inauguration.
He didn't come to my inauguration. He didn't come to my State of the Union speeches. And again, nobody has done more for black Americans than I have.
I understand.
He should have come. I think he made a big mistake.
And then to have the gall to say, I have done more for black Americans than anybody else. You know who's done more for black Americans than Donald Trump? John Lewis.
So I think just after watching that video, we all see pure narcissism on display. And for many of us, it's shocking. Like, oh my God, how can he be so narcissistic? Where is that coming from? And many of us think that narcissism is a intellectual disease. It's not. It's actually a spiritual disease. And the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa ala alihi, he actually told us that. He said that there's 3 characteristics that if we don't remove them, we will be destroyed as human beings. And one of them, he said, is i'jabul mar'i bi nafsihi, narcissism. Just being impressed with myself, thinking that I'm the coolest, I know best, having this inflated ego, not having empathy. I mean, look, President Trump was asked about John Lewis. This man is a man who dedicated his whole life to the betterment of the black community in the United States of America. This is a man who was abused. This is a man who marched on Selma and he was attacked, beaten by police officers, beaten by rioters. This is a man who was part of the original 13 Freedom Riders. I mean, this is a man who was there with Martin Luther King, marching on Washington, and he spoke in front of that enormous crowd. This is a man who was given the Presidential Medal of Freedom by President Obama. Why? Because he gave his whole life to the betterment of humanity. But if I'm a narcissist, I can't see that. If I'm a narcissist, the only thing I'm thinking about is how did that individual treat me? Did that person respect me? Did that person praise me? So I'm not capable of even seeing the beauty and the good that's in that person. And this is a spiritual disease. And though we saw it in that crazy video, each one of us, we may have it to a certain degree. And each one of us may display that disease in a different way. And the first thing that we have to do is recognize that we all have ailments of the heart. These are spiritual diseases that we have to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, number one, to make us aware that we have these diseases in our hearts. I'm not looking at someone else and pointing to someone else. I have to look at myself. I have this in me. Ya Allah, make me recognize that I have it. Number two, Ya Allah, give me the ability to get the cure for this disease, because I don't want to take it on the day of judgment. I want to be able to get through this now. And if it's ujub, narcissism, then the cure comes in the opposites. If I find myself that I'm obsessed with myself, if I find that all I want to do is praise myself, what I have to start doing is start praising other people who are deserving of that praise. I have to start speaking about other people. I have to start recognizing other people. I have to actually put in the hard work to get through this disease that I have. And it may not be easy, but I have to do it to be able to get cured from it. And then once I do that, humility starts to become part of my characteristics. Forbearance starts to become part of my characteristics. All these ugly diseases are removed, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala starts to fill me with the beautiful characteristics of our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa ala alihi. I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shows us our faults and gives us the ability to so beautifully overcome them.